Students, so welcome back to the channel. So in this video we are going to study about the fruits. So see first of all what will happen after fertilization. So after fertilization, double fertilization is completed in the plants, then ovary will change into fruit. Okay, ovary will change into fruit and ovule will change into seed. And ovary wall will change into fruit wall. And that fruit wall is known as pericarp. It is known as pericarp. And ovule integuments, okay, integuments of the ovule, they will change into seed coat. Outer will be testa and inner will be tegmen. So these are the changes which we observed after fertilization. Now pericarp is fruit wall is again differentiated into three layers. Epicarp, which is the outermost layer, then mesocarp, middle, and endocarp means innermost. So these are the changes which is observed in the plant after fertilization. They can be true fruit. True fruits are known as eucarpic fruit. It is developed from fertilized ovary. So ovary is fertilized and edible part is one of the part of the ovary wall. Okay, so edible part is a part of an ovary. But there is another type of fruit that is known as false fruit. That false fruit is known as pseudocarp. It is known as pseudocarp. It also developed from fertilized ovary, but its edible part is not ovary part. Okay, it developed from fertilized ovary, but edible part is not ovary part, is not an ovary part. For example, you can remember in apple, you are consuming thalamus. For example, in apple, the thalamus is consumed. The thalamus is not a part of the ovary. Is it clear, beta? The next is your parthenocarpic fruit. Parthenocarpic fruits are those fruits which are developed without fertilization. They develop from unfertilized ovary. So these are the basic difference between the types of the fruit. One is your true fruit, false fruit, and parthenocarpic. Remember, true fruits, this develop from fertilized ovary. Even false also develop from fertilized ovary. But parthenocarpic develop from unfertilized ovary. Now, difference between the true and false comes when the edible part. So here the edible part is ovary part, but here edible part is not ovary part. Clear? Now, next classification is whether they are made from the single flower or they are made from the many flower. So see here, one is your simple fruit. Simple fruit are the one which are made from one flower. They are made from one flower. Only one flower is used. Now, in the one flower, if there are many carpels, if the one flower has many carpel, then this many carpels are going for syncarpous condition. If they go for syncarpous condition, then we say such type of fruit is simple fruit. But if suppose the carpels are not going for fusion. Okay, they are made from one flower only. They are made from one flower. There are many carpels are there, but carpels are free. Carpels are free means apocarpus condition is there. Then such type of fruits are known as aggregate fruits. So another category is aggregate fruit category where there is apocarpus condition. The apocarpus condition with one flower is important, okay? Then we say aggregate condition. And if suppose syncarpus with one flower, then we say it is simple fruit. Now third category is it is not made from one flower, is made from inflorescence. Then such type of flower is known as composite fruit. Such type of fruit is known as composite fruit when it is made from inflorescence. It is made from inflorescence. And you know, cluster of the flower is known as inflorescence. Is it clear, beta? So I hope this much is clear. Now we will study in detail with respect to the simple fruit. We'll be classifying the simple fruit depending upon the part of the ovary wall, means pericarp. Is it pericarp is fleshy or pericarp is dry? Okay, now next classification we'll study now. The fruit which is developed from one flower with syncarpus condition. Okay, if many carpels are there, then it will be syncarpus condition. So it is of two types, fleshy fruit and dry fruit. So this side I am writing first fleshy fruit. The simple fleshy fruit. Okay. Here it will be dry fruits. The fleshy fruit will be again of different types. Drupe, berry, pepo, pome, Hesperidium, and balusta. Dry is again of three types. Whether the pericarp will be ruptured or it will be not rupturing means whether it is dehiscent or it is indehiscent, or if suppose it is going for dehiscence, then in single dehiscence is going on, not complete. So it is actually many seated, but dehiscence will be one seated. So we say schizocarpic. So dehiscent type is example is your legume. Here the example is legume, also known as pod, follicle, Siliqua, Silicula, and capsule. For indehiscent types are Caryopsis, Cypsela, Nut, and Samara. For Schizocarpic, again types will be there. Lumentum, Cremocarp, Regma, Carcarulus, and Utricle. So these are the types of the simple fruit. Now we'll be studying fleshy fruits in detail. Now see, this is the table which is made for the fleshy fruit to make you learn easy. See, there is a drupe fruit. See, this is a drupe, berry, pepo, pome, Hesperidium, and balusta. These are the examples which you should remember. In the drupe fruit, two examples are there, mango and coconut. In the berry, examples are many. It is tomato, grapes, brinjal with superior ovary. That is why we call them true berry. But guava and banana, they are with the inferior ovary. We call them as false berry. And if you remember, in all these fruits which we have discussed right now, tomato, grapes, and all these things, they are multi-seeded. But date palm and betel nut, they are single-seeded berry. Is it clear? They are single-seeded berry. For Pepo, example is your cucumber, watermelon, pumpkin, and bitter gourd. For Pome, your example is apple and pear. For Hesperidium, example is orange and lemon. And for Balausta, example is pomegranate. So first of all, try to learn through examples. Now, when you think of the mango, then obviously in the mango, you're peeling the epicarp and you are eating mesocarp. So in mango, mesocarp is edible. And when you throw the seed, that time on the seed coat, on top of seed coat, endocarp is there. And when you throw the seed, a sound come because it's a stony endocarp. So that is why, because the endocarp is stony, so drupe fruits are also known as stone fruits. Because of the stony endocarp, drupe fruits are also known as stone fruits. Is it clear? But in coconut, you are actually, if you purchase a coconut, I think so, you peel the outer one skin. That outer one, what you are removing, that is your mesocarp, which is fibrous. In coconut, mesocarp is fibrous, and then you break the coconut, means you are trying to break the endocarp, and then you are eating endosperm. In the coconut, edible part is endosperm. Generally, the students get confused with endocarp and endosperm. Endocarp is a part of an ovary wall, and endosperm is a product of double fertilization, which lead to the formation of the triploid tissue. So in coconut, edible part is your endosperm, and ovary is superior. You can understand this line is there. Ovary is superior with one carpel only. So when you think of the drupe fruit, think of the two examples only in the mind, mango and coconut. Clear, beta? Now come to the berry. Now when you think of the berry, you are thinking example tomato. Let us one tomato example. If you want, you can remove the outer skin. If you want, means epicarp can be removed, but meso and endo you cannot remove. And if you want, you can consume the entire pericarp also, because raw tomato everyone eat full. Okay, so in berry, your epicarp can be separated, but meso and endo cannot be separated. First thing. Second is this, ki ovary can be superior, it can be inferior, all these types can be there. And carpels can be one carpel to many carpel also, because if you know, in the date palm, only single seeded berry means one seed is there. The gynoecium can have from one carpel to many carpel. Placentation will be axial. Axial placentation means ovules are born in the center, and every carpel is folded to make a fold-like structure where the ovules, as a result, ovules are appearing to be present in the center. Is it clear for this presentation? Still, if any doubt is there, then you can check the video, that is part 3, in which we have discussed all the types of the presentation. Now, when you think of Pepo, think of the cucumber. In cucumber, you can peel that outermost skin, but outermost skin is not only epicarp, it is epicarp fused with thalamus. When I'm saying epicarp is fused with thalamus, it gives an idea, it means ovary is inferior. It means ovary is inferior. Is it clear? And if you cut the cucumber, you will find it is only 3 carpels are there. Tricarpillary syncarpous condition, okay, with parietal placentation. Now, when you think of the pome, think of the apple. Again, in the apple, which is the false fruit, you are eating the thalamus, and if you are eating the thalamus, and when you keep on eating, you reach to the center part, and that center part is actually ovary. So it means, again, ovary is embedded inside thalamus. It gives an idea, it is again inferior ovary. In case of the pome also ovary is inferior and pericarp is cartilaginous. Is it clear? Now when you think of the Hesperidium, then you should think about the orange. So when you're peeling the orange, your outer skin, epicarp, you're removing it, which is having volatile oil glands. Mesocarp is also sticking to the epicarp, but endocarp is making partition. Okay, endocarp make partition and we are consuming in orange or in lemon, means citrus fruits, we are consuming juicy placental hair. Ovary is superior, but with many carpels will be there, so we say infinite carpel. And you know very well, it's a type of a simple fruit. Obviously, it is a syncarpous condition. Now, when you think of baluster, think of the pomegranate. When you think of pomegranate, you are finding a crown-like structure is present. That crown is nothing that is persistent sepals. It means calyx is present. If calyx is present on top and the seeds are inside, it means gives you idea it is an inferior ovary. It is an inferior ovary. Is it clear? An epicarp is leathery because if you see the pomegranate, outermost skin is leather like shining. So it is leathery epicarp. And when you start peeling it, mesocarp is sticking to epicarp. Okay. And endocarp is making partition. And when you open it and then you're finding the seed, so in pomegranate, you are consuming the seed coat. Which seed coat you are consuming? Testa. Means ovule has changed into seed and ovule integument has changed into seed coat which you are consuming. So in such type of fruit, especially for pomegranate, parthenocarpy is not possible. Parthenocarpy means seedless, which is not possible because if there is no seed, it means there is no seed coat. You cannot eat the pomegranate. This is very important PMT question. Question language is this: which fruit lose its economical value when we go for parthenocarpy? Answer is pomegranate. So I think so all the fleshy fruits are clear. Now let us go for the dry fruit. Now see dry dehiscent fruit. The dry dehiscent fruit is legume, follicle, siliqua, silicula, and capsule. Okay, this is again presentation is here made already so that you can learn it easy. Now see these are the examples. For legume, your example is pea, bean, gram. For follicle, example is Rauwolfia, Vinca rosea, and Delphium. For siliqua, example is mustard. For silicula, example is capsula. And for capsule, it is poppy, datura, ladyfinger, and cotton. Now see, first of all, if you think of the legume, think of the pea. Means when you see the pea, I think so it is one fruit, okay, one fruit, and it is a gynoecium is one with many carpels are there, and the seed are born on both the sutures. It will be, it can dehiscence on both through both the sutures, through dorsal suture as well as ventral suture. Is it clear? It can dehiscence through both the sutures, dorsal suture as well as ventral suture. Now let me explain you what is dorsal suture and ventral suture. Now see, better try to understand. This is one leaf, okay? This is one leaf, and here the ovules are born on the margin because you know in the pea plant there is marginal presentation. To assume here the leaf ovules are born, and here also ovule are born, and this is the midrib. Okay, now imagine this is folded. So when it is folded, then you know very well that lower is dorsal. So this is lower and this side is dorsal. So when you open the pea, when you open the pea fruit, you open from here, and I think so you see the seed are present on this side, isn't it? So this is your dorsal suture from where you are opening, and when you open this way, it means it can be opened from dorsal suture as well as from ventral suture. Is it clear? See here in case of the legume, it can dehiscence by both the sutures, dorsal suture as well as ventral suture, and it will be dehiscing from apex to base. Follicle is also like legume, but it is actually dehiscing through one suture only, that is ventral suture. Through ventral suture only it will dehiscence. It is just like a legume only. Now come to the siliqua. Siliqua will also dehiscence by both the sutures, but it will be from the base to the apex. Understanding the difference better? Which one is from apex to the base and which is from the base to the apex? Now check once again, in case of the legume and follicle, they are only monocarpellary. But Siliqua and Silicula, both are bicarpellary with parietal presentation. Here parietal presentation, not marginal, okay? Siliqua is nothing, it is actually basing from both the sutures, that is from the base to the apex, and short siliqua. If siliqua becomes short, then this is known as silicula. Is now capsule. Capsule can break in many ways. First of all, presentation is axial. Many carpels will be there. Now they can dehisce through the locule, means the chamber areas, the locucidal. It can dehisce through the septa, means from septa area where the septas are coming from, there they are dehiscing. Like I've assumed in my diagram, tricarpellary syncarpus. If they are rupturing through septa, we say septicidal, or they can make a pore also, the poricidal. So depending upon the dehiscence, how they are dehiscing it, and why we say dry, let me explain you that concept also, because the pericarp is dry. Okay, fleshy was called fleshy because pericarp is fleshy. You can consume one or two layer of the pericarp. But in case of dry, you cannot consume any layer of pericarp. It is totally dry, but it will be dehiscing. Now let us see dry indehiscent. Now see next category, dry indehiscent fruit. Caryopsis, Cypsela, nut, and Samara. So when you think of Caryopsis, you think of the this grass fruit, matlab Gramine family, in which the wheat, rice, maize members are coming. And here the pericarp is fused with seed coat. So what you are consuming, the cereal crop, like you are consuming wheat and rice, they are not seed, okay? They are fruit. Which type of fruit they are? They are dry and indehiscent, in which pericarp is fused with the seed coat. We call such type of fruit as Caryopsis. Now, when you think of the Cypsela, think of the sunflower. And I think so you must have seen this like parachute mechanism. The parachute mechanism is nothing, it is a pappus. Here the sepal is modified to form pappus. Okay. And one difference is here it is showing a parachute mechanism for the seed dispersal, and here pericarp is not fused with the seed coat. Is it clear? Pericarp is not fused with the seed coat. Now, when you think of the nut, then think of the lychee, cashew nut, trapa. Trapa is also known as water chestnut. In Hindi, we call it as singhada. Here, the pericarp is hard. Pericarp is hard, and in lychee, instead of two integument, it is having third integument, and third integument is aerial. Again, it is a very important PMT question. Edible part in lychee is, they can give you option one integument, two integument, third integument. So your answer will be third integument. Or they will give you the name of that third integument. We call it as aerial. Okay, A-R-I-L, aerial. That is the edible part. And in case of Samara, which is also known as winged fruit, seen in Dioscorea, the pericarp has developed a wing-like structure and helping in the dispersal of the seed. The gynoecium, in all the cases, leaving Cypsela, gynoecium is with the superior ovary. So I hope this dry indehiscent topic is clear to you. Now let us see the next. Now see schizocarpic. Schizocarpic, though they are multi-seeded, but after ripening, they will break into single-seeded. I think so you can, for best you can understand the example tamarind. Okay, in Hindi we call it as imli. If you see they are multi-seeded, but they will be showing a constrictions because they can split into single-seeded, and each single-seeded is known as mericarp. So here only you have to learn the examples. For lumentum example is groundnut and tamarind. Cremocarp example is carrot and coriander. For ragma example is castor, which come in the family Euphorbiaceae. For Carcharodulus example is oxymum, means tulsi plant. And for utricle example is amaranthus. So only you have to learn the examples, because in the competitive point, they will be given as an option so that it can help you to solve it. So according to till now, simple fruits are covered. Now we will cover aggregate and composite in one slide only. Aggregate fruits, they are from one flower with many carpel but apocarpus, means carpels are free. So you have to learn only the examples, that is strawberry, custard apple, raspberry and blackberry. Is it clear? You have to just learn only the examples. But composite fruits are those fruits which develop from inflorescence. As a result, all composite fruits are false fruit. And their examples are your pineapple, which develop from spike inflorescence. Please, if you are forgetting it, you can check the spike inflorescence, inflorescence video, you can check it. Jackfruit is developing from spadix. Mulberry is developing from catkin. And all these three types of fruits, they come on one category that is known as sorosis. And fig fruit is developing from Hypanthodium inflorescence, and such category is known as Syconus. So sorosis means spike, spadix and catkin, and Syconus means only Hypanthodium inflorescence. So I hope in this video which I have tried to explain you all the types of the fruits, this topic might be clear to you. In the next video, part 2, I'll be providing you the list of all the fruits with their edible part. Thanks for watching.